What is going on, my friends? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your homie, your host, your friend Arrington Gavin, coming to you on another awesome day. I'm so happy to be joining you for another great conversation. A conversation about trending news and thought-provoking topics from the fields of politics, sports, pop culture, and really all the above, man. We're going to be impacting it all within this hour. A lot to discuss, man. As you know, your boy loves to talk, and it's always something to share and talk about going on in our world today, man. It's like it makes my job so much easier. It really does, man. But hopefully, we have a lot of good that I think gets overshadowed by the bad, right? Because a lot of the bad overshadows the good, and I'm here to keep you informed, keep you up to speed on some stories that definitely needs to be spoken about. Some interesting ones, some flat out sad ones, unfortunately. But we here on the Arrington Gavin Show, we discuss about it all. We discuss about it all, and I'm so hyped and excited that you are tuning into us at the moment on all the digital and streaming airways, as well as WDJY 99.1 FM. All right, Atlanta, out in the metro Atlanta area. So excited for our listeners out there in the metro Atlanta area who are tuning in right now. Thank you for listening in and taking the time out your schedule to stay up late at night to the great program we have here. Again, shout out to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can also listen on WDJYFM.com online. So multiple ways you can tune in. We drop episodes on digital and streaming platforms around 4 times a week. As you know, this show is aired on the radio waves Monday through Fridays, weeknights at 11 p.m. on, again, WDJY 99.1 FM. All right, y'all. Let's get it going. What do we have going on today? We are going to be going over a few very known pro wrestlers. One is retiring, and another one is being accused of discrimination. I bet you're wondering, who are you talking about? Well, we'll get it going later on in the program. Also, Boeing, the company Boeing, that's known for their planes and jets. I feel like we always hear them in the news for the wrong reason. I don't know how they're still in business, because they've always had issues with their planes. We've seen it clear as day on TV. So they have just pleaded guilty and has to pay a huge amount of money. Yet there's not really any heavy punishment for it. So we'll talk a little more on the program. Also, legendary singer, songwriter Elton John was seen in a very very upscale store doing, out of all things, taking a leak in a bottle. So he didn't get it on the clothes or anything, but the man couldn't hold and couldn't wait to, I guess, pee in a John. Don't they call a toilet a John and some others? No, that's what I thought they do. Anyway, the man couldn't hold it. I know he's getting a little old, but geez, man, control yourself. Couldn't hold it. So that's also on the list in today's program, as well as a sad story, but well deserved, for the criminal who took the life of an innocent soul out in New York. I will be sharing that a little later on the program. Let's see what we also have. And for you Pixar fans, if you are a fan of the movie Shrek is in the works for their 5th installment. That's right. So hopefully we have some time. We can talk a little more on that. But again, for those who are just now tuning in, you're tuning in to the Arrington Gavin Show, the show where we discuss trending news and thought-provoking topics from the fields of politics, sports, pop culture, and all the above. I am your host, Arrington Gavin. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening in on all the digital and streaming platforms, as well as WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. If you prefer to watch the version of this program, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, R Smooth Club Media, the letter R, and then Smooth Club Media. I truly appreciate that. Share it with your friends and family. You can also watch us on Rumble at the Arrington Gavin Show. So I truly appreciate that as well, my friends. What we're going to be doing is let's acknowledge some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show before we get going with everything. Like Ingenious Gin. Ingenious Gin is a veteran-owned, Black-owned spirit. For all you gin connoisseurs out there, I highly recommend to add this to your gin collection. All right, I've always been a bourbon whiskey connoisseur myself, but obviously, you know, this gin is kind of new to me, and it is extremely smooth. It's great, neat on ice, using great cocktails. I'm telling you, it's so good. Shout out to my friends Reggie and Lawrence, who are vets and co-owners of Ingenious Gin. If you would like to grab yourself a bottle, go visit your local Spirit or ABC stores wherever you are located in, or you can go online at www.ingeniousgin.com. Again, that's www.ingeniousgin.com. Make sure to drink responsibly. Look, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, my friends. When we come back, we'll get it started with our first story of the day. All right. You're tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All right, shout out to the Dapper Luke collection. That's right, the Dapper Luke collection, an amazing fashion line brought to you by Dapper Luke himself, a dear friend of mine who is the creator of my amazing custom suit that I wore at my wedding, and I've created a few other amazing pieces from for me. Dapper Luke collection, he caters to females and males when it comes to custom clothier. For more information, you can visit his website, dapperlukecollection.com. Follow him on all social media platforms. He's also a vet. Shout out to a vet. He's served 20 plus years in the U.S. Navy. Good dude. I highly recommend it. Check out he has two locations, one located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and another one located in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. And again, you can go online to see how you can get in contact with them. He has some of the best customer service ever, so I highly recommend to use his resources when it comes to getting swagged out from head to toe. All right, let's get it going with the first story. I want to talk about Boeing. All right, so for those who are unfamiliar with Boeing is one of the most recognizable companies that builds planes, jets, the whole 9 yards, but they've been in the headlines for the wrong reasons, because they're always having issues with their jets and their planes, and it's so annoying because I'm like, why? Like, to me, all you have is about 1 to 2 hiccups, but when it becomes like a regular thing, I'm sorry, brother, but I think it's time for y'all to close shop down. And I'm not trying to encourage you to, because I know you're going to say a lot of people work there, man. They don't want them, you force them to lose their jobs. Look, all I'm saying is either you have to go or I'll take it back. They need new leadership. They need some experts that are really, really focused on making quality, safe planes rather than just shelving stuff out to make that money. So, says here recently, Boeing pleads guilty to fraud in 737 MAX crashers pays $243.6 million fine. You hear that? $1 million fine. Now, are they going to be serving any jail time? No. Should they? In my opinion, yes, because guess what? With those crashes, lives were lost. All right, lives were lost. So I'll read a little more about this. This is reported by the Associated Press. It says here, Boeing will have a felony conviction if it follows through on an agreement with prosecutors to plead guilty to fraud in connections with approval of its 737 MAX before two of their planes crashed, killing 346 people off the coast of Indonesia and in Ethiopia. Do you hear that? 346 people died because of their stupidity. And all of this is going to be a fine. A fine. Over 200 million. Look, money does not bring the lives back. Someone has to be held accountable for this. It says here the American aerospace giant has apparently made the calculations that admitting to a crime is better than fighting the charge and enduring a long public trial. The plea deal is not yet sure thing. However, relatives of some of the passengers who died have indicated they will ask a federal judge in Texas to throw out the agreement, which they say is too lenient considering the lives that were lost. They want a trial, they want a huge fine, and they want Boeing leaders to face charges. I totally agree with those families. Because what are we promoting here now? Lives are lost, but just pay a fine. You see how quick this company, let me actually, while we're chopping it up, I want to see exactly how much this company is worth. Let me see here. Says here Boeing is around the ballpark of $114 billion industry. $114 billion industry. So you're telling me that $243 million fine is gonna cover the all the issues? Oh, let's not go to trial. Let's just pay the fine. We're gonna keep on making planes that F up in the air. I mean, come on, people. It says in a legal filing, minutes before a midnight deadline, the Justice Department disclosed the agreement and said that fraud charge was the most serious, provable offense, a readily provable offense it could bring against Boeing. Prosecutors say Boeing will pay another additional fine matching a fine is it paid in 2021. Oh, so this is just a normal thing for them. They just like paying fines. They cool with it. I pay the fine. It's Gucci. I'm just pay the fine. The Justice Department says a conviction for fraud will hold Boeing accountable for misstatements it made to regulators who certified the 737 Boeing in 2017. The crashes took place less than 5 months apart in 2018 and 2019. Now, the company still faces investigations into blowout of a panel from an Alaskan airline MAX in January. Now, that blowout, if y'all don't recall, remember that time when there were people in the air and the freaking door just came off? The door. Now, I'm an avid flyer. I love to fly. I'm a lazy dude when it comes to traveling. If it's more than 2 hours, I don't want to drive. I'd rather take a train or fly. I love to fly. But this right here scares me because it's like, okay, now should we be alarmed to ask, okay, what kind of plane is this we're flying? You know, you're aware of airlines. Everybody says, okay, I have my preferred airlines. It might be because of cost. It might be because of they look at the safety tracker, right? And you know, the size of the plane, whatnot. But this right here, man, I mean, in my opinion, they need to just wipe out Boeing. Like they said, charge the whoever's in leadership at Boeing. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think the CEO had resigned, or whoever was the front man in charge, who was kind of like the spokesperson. I think he resigned not too long ago. To continue the story, it says increased oversight by Federal Aviation Administration and accusations from current and former employees about poor workmanship and retaliation against whistleblowers. Here is what to know about the case and what could be next for Boeing. Now, it says here Boeing admitted to plead guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States in this case, deceiving the Federal Aviation Administration. The Justice Department first filed the charge in 2021, but it agreed not to prosecute Boeing if it paid a fine. Shame on the Justice Department, man, because to me this is just too much. This is entirely too much. Let's see here. 3 years for May, however, Department of Boeing has not lived up to the agreement. No, almost had me cuss up here. So in total fines that Boeing has paid is you're looking almost close to $500 million just in fines. People. Now, to my knowledge, if I was doing something illegal, and it's like they give you a warning, then you have a fine, and then above a fine, if you start doing multiple fines, then you gotta serve some time. Now, all I'm saying is this is almost $500 million in fines, and nobody's talking about throwing out some passing out some charges here. Come on, y'all. This is ridiculous. See, Common Sense University. I talk about it all the time. Common Sense University. Almost 400 people died because of ignorance, because of people just saying, "Oh no, we're good. They just all we want to do is make the money. We can care less about the protocols, the safety of how these jets are. No, we're good." And now you had 2 crashes, and then a malfunction in one of your planes. All you had to do is pay a fine, and then you're just gonna keep it moving like everything's okay. I don't understand. I don't even understand how they're so successful. I don't understand how they're above all the other, I guess, companies that create jets and planes. It's just, I don't understand. I really don't understand. But I'm gonna digress from the story because I don't want to spend give them all this time on here. But let me move it on. Digress from this one. Oh gosh, that really irritates me, man. It really does. Let's see here. So, for you Shrek fans out here, I know that's a weird way to like segue out of, okay, I'm trying to brighten up, people. I'm trying to brighten it up. All right, so Shrek, there has been announced that Shrek 5 is in the works. It's set for summer of 2026 with stars Mike Myers, replaying his role as Shrek, the lead, Eddie Murphy, who played Donkey. That was a bad impersonation, but it's okay. He played Donkey, and of course Cameron Diaz, who played Fiona. Says here in the fifth installment. This will be the 5th installment with the franchise. And so far, and don't even go there, because for those who tune in, y'all know I'm not crazy about franchise, but I can be a little biased because recently I just saw the 4th Beverly Hills Cop that's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. It was an amazing film. It's just, I mean, Eddie Murphy's a legend. Let's just be honest. Eddie Murphy's a legend. Anything, he can make an awful film still be, credible and successful because it's just him. But he did his thing. It was a great movie. My wife hasn't really seen all of them, so we kind of started watching all the films from the beginning. But the 5th one was great. I mean, excuse me, this was the 4th one. Yeah, the 4th one was great. So this one will be the 5th of the Shrek franchise series. Now, 1 and 2 was good. The 3rd one, it was all right. But wait, damn. So wait, the 3rd, I think I might have skipped over the 4th, because if this is the 5th one, wow, I just realized that. So it says here, This is reported by Deadline, not too far away, wrote a spokesperson from the studio on X. Shrek 5 is coming to theaters in July 1st of 2026, again starring Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz. Walt Dorn, who worked on the second and third films as writer and artist and as head of story on the fourth film, will direct Shrek 5. The Trolls franchise Gene Shea is returning to produce alongside Illumination CEO Chris Meldandry. Super Mario. Okay, he has credits to Super Mario Brothers movie with Brad Albson, who's done the Minion movies, who's co-directing. Murphy hinted that the project was in motion in a video interview with Collider just last month. We started doing Shrek 4 or 5 months ago. We started doing Shrek 4 or 5 months ago. He said, I recorded the first act and will be doing it this year. We'll finish it up. In that interview, Murphy let slip that his character Donkey, the trusty sidekick of Mike Myers, will also be getting his own spinoff movie. Wow. Okay. See, Eddie's just he's really been rolling in the dough right now, because the very first film that he came out with was not very first film, but kind of like, when you haven't heard from this person in a long time, the first thing you do when you get back, you do a sequel that everybody's always been anticipating, right? He did an appearance on he did Coming to America. Then he hosted SNL, which he hasn't physically been on SNL since he was 19 years old. Then he did, oh damn, what did he do? He did then he did the Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah, so he did Beverly Hills Cop, and now he's doing the Shrek. He said he would like to do a stand-up. Everybody's waiting to see him hit the stage again, but he's just so sharp about his craft, right? He's just so sharp. So he said, it's just not the time yet. I don't know what I'm gonna, I gotta find something. It's gonna be difficult. So it was pretty interesting. So to have a spinoff, I think that's gonna be dope, because Donkey is probably he's my favorite out of the Shrek movie. He made the movie funny, and so that'll be cool to see him having his own spinoff. Says here, one of DreamWorks' most celebrated animated franchises, Shrek is based on the 1990 picture book from writer and cartoonist Will Stein. The franchise kicked off with a 2001 film on the same name, which introduced View to Shrek, an ogre embarking on a quest to rescue Princess Fiona, played by Cameron Diaz, winning the first Oscar for Best Animated Feature and grossing over $488 million worldwide. The original film success paved the way for the sequel, Shrek 2, which was in 2004. Shrek meets Fiona's parents, Shrek the Third in 2007, which follows Shrek's journey to find the next heir and throne. And the fourth installment, Shrek Forever After in 2010, explores Shrek's midlife crisis in which he wished to arise his past. Still trying to remember that one. The franchise also includes the spinoff Puss in Boots in 2011, starring Antonio Banderas as the swashbuckling feline, the sequel of which, Puss in Boots The Last Wish, an Oscar nominated and grossed over $481 million globally upon its December 2022 debut. Wow. So it says here, the previous four Shrek films has earned more than 2.9 billion worldwide, spawning a global live touring show and award-winning Broadway musical that earned 8 Tony nominations and 12 Drama Desk nominations, plus an immersive top tourist destination in London and a popular events and attractions across Universal Destination Experience and theme parks. So basically, people, this is another Toy Story. Let's be real. So I'm a animation fanatic. Toy Story, hands down, will always be my favorite animation films. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't care. I was just always a fan of Toy Story. I had the toys. I literally, when I was a kid, I had a life-size Woody doll, and it was so funny because I mean, and the more I'm speaking on it, I feel like people probably was like, "Oh, Arrington ain't had no friends." I had friends, but I was the only child too at home. So when I got home, Woody was my brother. He was my friend. Just let me stop talking about this because people gonna start sending flowers like, "Oh, you poor thing, you poor thing." Let me let me calm down with that. but but yeah, so this is like another Toy Story. Whenever you have a great successful film, when it starts to literally develop its own theme parks, its own action figures, spin-offs, games, shows, Broadways. That's how Minions, like the Despicable Me franchise, Monsters Inc. could not match up to that. I think, in my opinion, it was very popular, but I don't think Monsters Inc. matched up to the success as like Despicable Me, Shrek, Toy Story. What other? The Incredibles, very popular. It will be interesting. It will be interesting to see. So again, anticipate Shrek 5, y'all, for all you Shrek fans out there. I can't wait to check it out. It's going to be happening in 2026. Yes, the summer of 2026, July 1st to be exact. July 1st, 2026. So we will be ready for that. It'll be cool. Be very cool to check out. Wow, it's like, can you imagine like 2024 is like almost over? And they're already talking about stuff happening in 2026. Jeez. Let's see here. Let's go to a quick commercial break, my friends. When we come back, we'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, happy people. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Again, if you're just now tuning in or listening into this program, I am your guy, Arrington Gavin. You can tune into this program Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m., weeknights at 11 p.m. on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk out of the Metro Atlanta area, and also on all digital and streaming platforms. Okay, all digital and streaming platforms. I truly appreciate all the support, the continued support, because all I'm doing is just here continuing to give you great content, fun, informative information, great conversations, changing the narrative when it comes to radio, talk radio, podcasting, streaming, the whole 9 yards. I feel like there's a lot of people with agendas and things like that. Look, we're very unbiased here, very independent, grassroots. We just keep it to you real and authentic. So let me digress to that. I brought up my boy Elton John, the legend, multi-award winning music artist, singer, songwriter, Elton John. Elton John is out here wilding. When I say wild, I mean maybe the man just couldn't help it. Elton John is pushing 80. But recently, it was reported shot that staff of a shoe store in Nice, France, said by revealing himself into a bottle while on a recent shopping trip. Okay, so they were like, dude, if you really had to go that bad, you could probably use the restroom. But I don't know. If he literally peed in a water bottle, then it's probably one of those fancy ones that say, oh no, you're not allowed. No, we have a no policy. I mean, that's one thing I can't say. And I wish all like stores would like do something about that, because there's some places that you like, oh, you have to purchase something in order to use the restroom. Or again, I've spoken about my frustration with California and how, the Bay Area, and probably it's a state thing, but a lot of restaurants and takeout spots and stores, whatever, their bathrooms have a code on the door. You hear me? A code, because they have such a high homeless rate. People will always just wander in, bathe, be a distraction, I guess, or disturbance to clients and to guests. And so they have a code in there. Sometimes it's just like, look, you gotta go, you gotta go. All right. I don't want no ifs, none about it. I gotta go. If not, I'm gonna pee on your floor. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna pee on your floor if you don't let me in. So to read a little more on this, it says he reportedly visit Sugar Kicks with a Z, Sugar Kicks in France, with his two sons and bodyguard in tow. According to Ryan Secure, the store owner, Elton John asked whether there was a public bathroom in the vicinity he might use. When he was told that there wasn't, the iconic musician, the iconic musician is said to have asked his bodyguards for a bottle. According to reports, he then stepped away from the other customers and began to pee in that bottle. Man, let me tell you something. I mean, hey, Elton like this, bro. When a brother gotta go, a brother gotta go. All right. I said I got to go. I got to go. He said, hand me a bottle. Hand me a bloody bottle. Outside an illustrious career in the music industry, the candle in a wind singer who's 77, I know he was pushing 80, 77 years old, is known for his love of shopping and his occasional eccentric behavior, but this is particularly strange even for him. Look, when you're 77 years old, you just don't give a damn anymore, okay? Especially when you got Elton John money. Now, if I was I'm a multi-thousandaire, okay? I'm a multi-thousand. Well, I'm almost a multi-thousand. You know, my money funny, y'all. My money funny. But no, I'm in the multi-thousandaire status. He is pretty much a billionaire. Okay, his music is timeless. I know he probably owns the rights to all of his music, or because I don't think he sold it yet. But he is a loaded dude. When you have money like Elton John, when you have success, fame like Elton John, you just don't care anymore. And at his age, he's like, bump it, I gotta go. So it says here, according to TMZ, who broke the story, the Crocodile Rock singer then asked his security for a towel to clean up the splashback he left on the floor. Man, that joker had a dang sprinkler system. Okay, he had a sprinkler system. You hear me? That joker could not hold it. He said, nah, B. He said, I got to go. I got to go. So says here, hold on real quick. Having a little technical difficulties with my computer. Wants to act funny all of a sudden, y'all. So it says here, let me read a little more on this story. Says here, okay, Ryan revealed that he had no idea who the British pop star was, with Elton responding, I'm Elton John, when asked about what he did for a living. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. It's even more funny the fact that, okay, the gentleman didn't know who he was. And then two, the fact that he's like, okay, this old man with obviously a huge security team just coming here pissing in my store. Like, come on now. Like, dude, you don't know who Elton John is. Where have you been? Where have you been? Again, common sense. Common sense tells you he's pretty famous. Again, if I see someone with a bodyguard, the first thing I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, let me look up this person. Or okay, he says I'm Elton John. Let me go ahead and Google him real quick. It's not that hard. It's not that, it's not that difficult. So it says here, after quickly looking up his customer, Ryan realized that he was something of a big deal. Oh my goodness, this is hilarious. The shopkeeper described feeling shocked and frustrated at Elton John's behavior, but also noted that he was very cool in spite of, it appears that there were no hard feelings, with the store posting a picture of Elton John and his sons on Instagram. Because that helped your business, buddy. In this picture, Elton and his sons He has a 13 and 11-year-old. And this man's 77, by the way. But okay, no. Don't go there, Arrington. Don't go there. Could be seen carrying 2 Sugar Kicks bags containing the sneakers that star is said to have purchased following the incident. Whether he apologized has not yet been revealed. Sorry, after all, is the hardest word. That is classic. Elton's visit to the shoe store in Nice isn't news by itself, with the star living locally in a nearby villa with his husband, David Furnish, who's 61. So this guy is a resident of France, and the man still didn't know who he was. That's odd. This comes a year after the Rocket Man singer played his last ever set in Glastonbury in front of a crowd of over 120,000 people and an audience of 8 million people watching on TV. Interesting story. This man is truly a national treasure. But I think he's even gonna become even more popular. The fact that Ellen said, I don't care, I got to go. Hand me a bottle, quick, hand me a bottle. That joker had to go. But you know what's always been hard for me, y'all? Road trips, especially when you really got to go and nobody wants to stop. Like, have you ever tried to like as a kid, it was easy, like, peeing in a bottle, but your boy blessed. I'm a grown man now. I need that I need that Gatorade bottle. You know what I mean? With that. Okay, let me stop. I'll stop now. All right, let's move it on, man. Let's move it on. How we're looking with time? Looking good with time. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead, move on to a passion of mine, wrestling, professional wrestling. I love pro wrestling. I'm getting back in the sync of things and checking it out a little more and stuff like that. So let me go ahead, bring up this. I don't know if y'all heard recently, but John Cena, the known as one of the most decorated professional wrestlers in the industry, had announced recently that he'll be retiring in 2025. Will be his last go in. Doctor of Thugonomics, right? I remember when John Cena first came to the scene in the WWE. I actually watched him in the developmental the OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling. He was very popular then. Says here, John Cena announces his official retirement from wrestling, declaring that the next WrestleMania will be his last. The wrestler turned actor offered his thank you to fans before throwing down a gauntlet to other franchise wrestlers to hurry up and come get some. John Cena offered a heartfelt speech. It says here, this is reported by NBC News, offered a heartfelt speech of gratitude to his wrestling fans Saturday night as he announced his retirement from the ring, declaring that next year's WWE WrestleMania will be his final one. Cena spoke in Toronto to a crowd that clearly did not want him to go. Fans booed as the wrestler turned actor told them of his official retirement, which will include a farewell tour next year. The 2025 Royal Rumble will be my last, Cena said. The 2025 Elimination Chamber will be my last. And I'm here tonight to announce that in Las Vegas, WrestleMania 2025 will be the last I compete in. Toward the end of more than 6 minutes, a 6-minute speech, the audience began to chant, "Thank you, Cena." He called it an incredible gesture of kindness. Thank you so much for letting me play in the house that you built for so many years, Cena said. Thank you so much always for your voice because it's really loud, and your honesty because it's beautiful, brutal. Says here, Cena is a 16-time WWE champion over the course of nearly 20 years with the wrestling franchise. In that time, he has also transitioned into Hollywood, starring in films such as Barbie, Argo, and making multiple appearances in the Fast and Furious franchise. I will say Cena has played a hell of a villain in some films, but even with his acting success, Cena has always kept up with his wrestling career and persona. The star tried to address why he was choosing now to step aside, referring to the WWE Money in the Bank event where he was speaking. Why now? Because it's Money in the Bank, the ultimate symbol of opportunity, Cena said. And this farewell does not end tonight. It is filled with opportunities. He went on to note at the WWE's the Monday Night Raw is moving to Netflix, making history for the company. And Cena will celebrate his many last along with these firsts. Cena also seemed to tease eye-catching matches, calling out the WWE superstars. He told them, if you want some, hurry up and come get some, because last time is now, Cena said in a post-show press conference. Cena said he will stick around. WWE and WrestleMania will not be his final match. He said his farewell tour will hopefully include dozens of dates between January and December 2025, and his final in-ring match at the end. Cena told reporters that he proposed a plan that would keep him around the franchise in different capacities, even though he won't be competing. It's always said to the audience that WWE is my home and I love it, Cena said. Just because I physically feel I'm at my end doesn't mean I need to distance myself from something that I love. Now, I spoke with my friend Stanley Carr, host of Wrestling with Heart, which you can tune in on all digital and streaming platforms, as well as on WDJY 99.1 FM every Sundays at 4 p.m. on the station. I spoke with him on just, when you see a lot of wrestlers that you grew up watching, and on now it's like the time to transition, right? Because we see it with Kurt Angle is no longer competing anymore. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, who's now pretty much the boss man, right? The Rock is coming back, kind of back and forth part-time, but he's one of, a lot of guys that we've grew up with, they're getting much older now. Their bodies can't take it out. And Cena, you can tell, his body is just not there anymore. And with the success of his acting career, hey, why not? Let me lean to something and protect my body more. And he's always had a great persona, which acting is very easy for him to do. Let's be honest, you don't want to be like a Ric Flair. Ric Flair is very successful, huge fan of Ric Flair, but Ric Flair wrestled until he was 73, and you can see it. Man, it's scarred up, beat up, banged up. It's, hey, you don't want to do that until you can barely walk. So congrats to John Cena again on an amazing career, and wishing him nothing but the success and the best to come after that. Moving on to another professional wrestler, but this one is not going to be for the good reason. So legend Hulk Hogan being accused of discrimination. That's right, folks. The Hulkamaniacs, Hulk Hogan, brother. That Hulk Hogan. He has been recently accused from a previous brand ambassador that she was let go from working with him due to because he found out that she was black. This is reported by Vibe. Real American Beer released a statement on alleged racist firing of a brand ambassador. Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer denies terminating influencer Essence J due to her race. Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer has released a statement. Okay, it says here, we are deeply troubled. Let me go ahead and come out of here. It says here, we are deeply troubled by the false rumor circulating on social media that a brand ambassador hired by a third-party marketing agency was terminated by Hulk Hogan for racial reasons. The statement from a brand spokesperson, Real American Beer simply terminated its short-term relationship with the third-party marketing agency. Hulk Hogan was not involved in that decision, and race was not a factor. We are in communications with the agency in an attempt to clear the misunderstanding and incorrect information, and believe that the false statement will be withdrawn. Social media influencer Essence J took to TikToks with accusations. This happened Saturday, July 6th, with accusations of racism being aimed to the former wrestler. She claims she was fired as a brand ambassador for the beer after Hulk Hogan met her in person for the first time. She says here, Hulk Hogan, thanks for making it clear that you don't work with black brand ambassadors. Essence captioned the first of two TikTok addressing addressing the matter where she shares images from the first in-store event alongside Hogan. She also added Hogan, excuse me, had some in my eye. Hulk Hogan paid you to be a brand ambassador and canceled your contract the next day because realized you were a black brand ambassador. Also, she shared in the text exchange indicating she was fired under the under the guise of the rest of the events being canceled. After checking social media, however, the model found 3 non-black women participating in promotional events for the brand instead. She even screenshotted below a lot of this stuff. Wow. Well, we will continue to tune into this story because I mean, when you start bringing up these heavy allegations like that, it's real. It's real, especially involving a name like Hulk Hogan, who is an icon, who is a legend when it comes to professional sport, really a pop culture icon, because not just professional wrestling, he was also an actor too, a famous reality star. He's been on so many brands. I mean, come on. Him, Ric Flair, like they could never break character. Literally, I'm pretty sure they will never ever break character because it's a part of their brand now. It is a part of their brand. So what the sad thing about this is, again, hopefully it's not true. And I say hopefully because again, you're talking to a sports fan, but if it is, accusations like this doesn't surprise me because it does exist. Okay, especially in the corporate world, it does exist. People are like, "Oh, we're done with racism. This no longer it still exists. It very much still exists." Okay, and they can be nice, nasty. They don't have to say it so vulgar and blatantly, but they can do it by actions. Okay, and this is a very lovely lady. Again, I mean, it's interesting, seeing him break into the beer brand, which is, he's much older. I think he's in the 70s now. But he's on like his third marriage to a young individual. He's trimming down. He looks in great shape. I mean, hey, he's continue to build more wealth. But we will read more on this. We would read more on this and see what was the reason of the separation from the brand ambassadors and things like that, because it's very curious. I'm very curious to hear about that. Let's see right here. We're gonna do another quick commercial break, my friends. When we come back, let's see. When we come back, journalist Lord have mercy, Jemele Hill had some words that was pretty interesting, and then she kind of quickly covered that up. So we'll kind of share a little more on this program here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Again, don't go anywhere, my friends. When we come back, we'll have some more here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All righty, my friends. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Let me go ahead and bring up, if I can find it. Where is my? Oh, here we go. Here we go. I had to get my my clips in. All right. So as I mentioned before, Sage. Why do I keep on saying Sage? It's like I'm thinking of Sage Steele. Jemele Hill, not even in the same name. Jemele Hill recently claims that there are no pro-Democrat news outlets and that it will cost Biden the election. Now, Jemele, big fan of you. I beg to differ. Okay, because I would say this: there's probably equal amount, maybe more. Well, I'll say an equal amount of where you can get like your Democratic outlets and liberal outlets compared to like your conservative outlets. They're probably neck and neck, to be honest. Um, but let's be honest, we have MSNBC, very strong left progressive channel, but well, not even progressive, just very strong left leaning news outlet. You have CNN, which is uh eh, start trying to transition into unbiased news platform, but they're having difficulties because they're doing that all of a sudden now because they realize it hurts their ratings they're suffering. They really are suffering. CBS News, NBC, ABC, they lean a little more left. So I wouldn't really make that, assumption or accusation that there's not a lot of Democratic news outlets. I mean, if you go to streaming, I mean, the Young Turks is very strong progressive. You have a lot of you have a quite a number of liberal outlets, but you do have a lot of conservative. I mean, you have Fox News, Newsmax, you have you have Real Voice America, I believe. You have OAN, you have the First, what else? And then all obviously Rumble, which I mean you can catch my show on Rumble. You have a good number of conservative platforms on that channel. The Hill, I feel like the Hill is centered. News Nation is very centered. You have your in between outlets, but this is reported by Outkick says here, according to Jemele Hill, Democrats do, and she actually tweeted this. She said, Biden's issue isn't that he can't convey in accomplishments, is there are just so many conservative echo chambers, etc. That she mentioned, Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, that run Republican Trump messaging 24 hours a day. There is no Democratic equivalent to that. And in parentheses, and no, it's MSNBC. As far as a VP Harris goes, she will have the same issue as Biden. Says here, okay, Democrats have a disadvantage in terms of media. And sometimes I feel like people say that just so that can be like a way to promote your brand. And I mean, hey, I've done it too, and I'm still do it. Like, hey, there's a lot of outlets that are agenda based. There's not a lot of shows or platforms that you're just gonna have a simple conversation, right? This is a conversation where everybody and anybody is welcome as long as you don't promote hate towards individuals or a hate group. I'm always gonna be promoting my brand. So I mean, clap it up for Jemele for doing that. She's a very accomplished journalist. We first found out of her, in the sports world, as a sports journalist, but she has her own platform. I think it's called Jemele Hill Unbothered. It's a very successful platform. And she has her own podcast network as well. But one thing, man, I'm just tired of all the excuses. Like, to me, that's just another way of excusing the fact that, okay, that's why Biden's doing bad, because there's not a lot of platforms that will give an opportunity to speak. No. Let's be honest. He's just doing bad because he's not gaining the trust of voters by his physical appearance. Okay. His mental, his cognitive ability, and and even some of his policies has kind of ticked people off, because it was a lot of stuff that was made previously, promises that was made that hasn't been met with, and that's why a lot of people are just like irritated with the whole thing. So people are just frustrated. So to me, Jemele, I just feel like you're kind of making an excuse in this case, saying that there's just so many they're not going to provide. No, I'm not buying at all. But again, we will see. I mean, you even think, when you think of newspapers, I mean, you got liberal newspapers and magazines. Like, I don't know. It might even be more liberal or left-leaning outlets than conservative. I don't know. Somebody, please keep me up to speed on this. DM me, let me know if y'all. Matter of fact, we'll do like a little game. If you're listening right now, DM the Arrington Gavin Show. Our Instagram page is the Arrington Gavin Show. DM me all conservative outlets, including newspapers, right? So media outlets and as well as Democratic outlets, and then I want to count it over and I'll share it on the next show. So do me a favor if you can, and I'll truly appreciate that. But I'm gonna digress because I really want to get in this. I have a short amount of time left to show my next story where it's sad, but you had the people that were in the community that was involved with this that was it was sad. It was a killing that happened in New York City, or in New York. And let me see, I'm rushing with time right now. Let me see if I can bring it up here. There was an incident where a 31-year-old was shot. A 31-year-old young lady, lovely young lady, was shot. And I mean, you had the folks that were just in the community beating the crap out of this suspect while he's strapped to a gurney. and they just weren't having it. They were not having it at all. Let me see if I can bring it up. It's gonna take some time. How are we looking with time, guys? Let's see right here. Okay.
Case night after a woman's body was found in a sleeping bag. There was a chaotic scene tonight in Kips Bay.
Okay, hold on. This reported by ABC 7 in New York. Let me continue.
As officials took a person of interest into custody, Yasmin Williams was found dead on Friday night on East 27th Street. Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan has more on today's developments.
Murderer. The seething crowd screamed tonight as police brought the suspect from his home on an EMS gurney. You can see police trying to keep the crowd back, but the brutal killing of a 31-year-old woman had enraged them. They surged forward and hit the man in police custody.
They're getting him.
Medics got the suspect to the ambulance, but again the crowd surged and hit him repeatedly. Eventually, he was loaded in. You could see him only briefly. The man police now have in custody after the brutal murder of 31-year-old Yasmin Williams, who was shot in the head, her body wrapped in garbage bags and left by the curb in Kips Bay on Friday.
Oh, my beautiful baby, my angel.
Family and friends set up a memorial near where her body was found. A daughter, a big sister.
She used to always take good care of me, and she used to always be proud of me. She was the best sister I could ever have.
Very intelligent, very smart, uplifting. When she walked in the room, she was the life of the party, honestly. And I'm just sad that I lost my best friend.
A true, just extremely sad act of violence, man. I wanted to end the show there just by hearing all the people saying amazing things about this individual, Yasmin Williams. She was 31 years old, and if you didn't hear, or if you're watching this, there were multiple people within the community that was beating the crap out of this suspect while he's in the gurney. I mean, it had to be over 50 people, and they were just all like, he was getting protected by the cops, obviously, as they entered him into the ambulance, but they were just like attacking him because that community right there was just heartbroken. They're like, no, you hurt somebody of us. Y'all, I'm running out of time. Look, tune in next time here on the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm out.